They called him the Pearl, a man who could make a cue ball dance, slow down time, and shatter expectations, all in a single stroke of the cue.
I was a natural. I was born with my ability, I think, because from the moment I started playing, it seemed like I progressed immediately. And by the time I was 12 or 13 years old, I could beat a road player.
Earl Strickland wasn't just a pool player. He was an event. Hundreds would line up just to watch him play or hear what outlandish comment he would make next.
Well, were you affected by it?
Don't say it's the same for everybody, because it ain't.
I haven't said that.
I bet the commentators haven't mentioned once that I'm 38 years older than him. You really don't want to go any further. I out-talk you all day long.
Brilliant, volatile, untamed, a storm inside a pool hall. For decades, his name echoed through smoky rooms and shining arenas alike. But behind the legend, there was a man constantly battling himself. Earl Strickland was born in 1961 in Roseboro, North Carolina, a small town where dreams rarely stretched beyond the county line, with a tight-knit population in the low thousands. But for young Earl, things were different. As soon as he picked up a cue, something clicked. He had what can only be described as a natural gift, the kind that can't be taught.
There's some kids now that are kid wonders, but I still say I'm the best kid wonder that ever played pool. I grew up in an era when there was a lot of gambling, and it was a different era, and you had to grow up quick.
By 10 years old, he was running racks that grown men could only ever dream of. By 16, he was hustling every pool room in the South, taking no prisoners. Earl had an obsession, a relentless drive to be the very best. And when the professional pool scene called in the 80s, he answered. In the early 80s, the world of pool was changing. Television brought new heroes to living rooms. Players like Mike Captain Hook Siegel, Steve the Miz Mizarek, and Efren the Magician Reyes quickly became icons. But then came this whirlwind from North Carolina, brash, fearless, and outrageously talented.
6 games to 3, Strickland now in the catbird seat. Here it goes. Made it on the 9. That's 2 quick games. I would think those are the kinds of things that if you're Mike Siegel, you got to be gnashing your teeth at this point.
I can handle this one.
He can handle it. He did. Earl Strickland. He's the champion. Great match. Great final match.
He didn't just win, he dominated. U.S. Open titles, World Championships, rack after rack of impossible runs. He was awarded the Billiards Digest Player of the Decade in the 80s for his truly dominant reign. At his peak, Earl could play for hours without missing a single ball. And he certainly wasn't shy about letting you know it.
And tried to hold his cue ball down there for the 5, for the 2. Made it.
Nice shot.
Don't get any better than that.
To his fans, he was electric, a rock star with a cue. To his opponents, he was like their nightmare materialized into reality. But the same fire that fueled his greatness was about to consume him. As the trophies piled up, so did the pressure. Earl's temper became as famous as his cue ball control. When he lost, or even missed, the storm would break. Referees, fans, even other players, No one was safe from his outbursts.
Way more painless than you ever give me. I've had 8 operations in this country. I ain't never have one. You ain't never done it.
To some, it was pure entertainment. To others, an embarrassment to the sport.
Fun making these awesome shots.
Oh, you kidding me?
No.
God, you're one lucky guy, Effie.
Oh,
See,
no.
I don't like that when he says that. I'd throw him out of the tournament and stuff like that.
But for Earl, it wasn't about anger. It was about passion. Passion for potting. Passion for competing. Passion for winning. Every mistake cut deep. Pool wasn't just a game to him. It was everything. In the 1990s, Earl became the face and the controversy of professional pool.
That doesn't seem to bother the man.
And he doesn't have to do anything special with the white, Jerry. Oh, he just broke his cue. He's just snapped his cue. Look at this. That's an action you see all the time from Strickland. And so often, he's in danger of breaking that cue.
He battled on the world stage, collecting titles along the way, like the WPA World 9-Ball Championship in 90, 91, and 2002. But he also collected critics. Every tantrum, every walk-off, every shouted insult captured and replayed to the masses. Yet even his rivals couldn't deny his brilliance. When Earl was locked in, he was absolutely unstoppable.
Off the rail and in.
Great shot. That's a great shot.
Beautifully done by Earl Strickland.
It was like he knew the forbidden language of the cue ball. Whisperings of soft spin, pinpoint control, supernatural accuracy. And then came the Moscone Cup, the annual clash between Team USA and Team Europe. It became Earl's battlefield. He played with fury, sometimes crossing the line. But when he won, he carried his country on his shoulders.
Well stroked. He knows it. He's perfect. And look at him. Look at the crowd. Look at Strickland. Unbelievable. The pearl shines on. Earl Strickland, a 5-4 win over El Nino. And 3 points the pearl is given to the USA in this year's Moscone Cup. But what a match. What an event this has turned out again.
You already got one foul in the game because you done it again and now they give it to you. It's bad fucking news.
As the years passed, the wins grew fewer and far between. The sport had changed drastically. New players, new rules, new money. But Earl stayed the same. Raw, emotional, unfiltered, and stuck in his ways.
Las Vegas, and Daryl Peach has something to say as well.
You need to settle down.
Tried to move when I shot the ball.
Not then he didn't.
He
Not
did
then.
right before I got ready to shoot it.
Not that
like
one.
that.
Not that one. It wasn't him. It was somebody in the crowd on that one. All right. Okay.
All he wants to do is fight, guys.
Let's just settle it down. Listen. Earl.
This guy just threatened me to fight.
Mr. Earl Strickland, ladies and gentlemen. Earl, how are you doing tonight?
Pool is a beautiful game played by ugly people. Okay, first of all, how are you gonna play pool if you're not properly equipped? Where's your beekeeper's outfit? You don't have no ass weights. I don't see you in waders. What are you doing? Do you have goggles on? No, then get the fuck off the table.
How do you feel about jump cues, Earl?
Jump cue? When I was a kid, you couldn't jump with a fucking jump cue. That ain't jumping. What the fuck is that? You got a tiny little cue and you're all pleased as punch? You got a big smile on your face like you just did something?
His temper cost him sponsors. Strickland's on-camera outbursts led to him losing his main sponsorship with Q-Tech Cues in 2007. Reputation and self-control was often his own worst enemy.
Pool's the hardest game in the world. People don't realize it. They just don't realize how hard a game this is. You know, basketball players and football players and golfers and tennis players. The reason that they don't play pool is because they know the difficulty of the game. They don't want to embarrass themselves. People that don't play pool are fools.
There were times he said he was done, that pool had betrayed him. But the truth was, he could never walk away. Today, Earl Strickland is a living legend, not just for what he won, but for what he survived. He's still out there, still competing, still practicing, still chasing that same dream from his early days in North Carolina. And through all the chaos, one thing has never changed: his love for the game. In a sport where silence speaks louder than applause, Earl Strickland's name still echoes. Not for being perfect, but for being real.
You know, I was disappointed, but I want you to know, as a friend, that was the greatest thing I ever seen in my life. Even though I didn't get all the money.
Yeah.
You know, it was still fun.
Yeah.
And I'll remember as long as I live.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been asked probably, it seems like 1 million times. You know?
630,000 times.
Since it happened, I bet you I've been asked at least 100,000 times, it seems like.
Many players in today's game resemble what can only be described as robotic, showing very little emotion. With Earl, you knew you'd be watching an entertaining spectacle. He was the spark that kept pool alive during its darkest years, a fire that often burned too hot, but lit the way for everyone who followed. The pearl still shines, not because he never cracked or faltered, but because, even broken, he still reflects the light. Earl Strickland, genius, villain, champion, survivor. A 3-time WPA World 9-Ball champion, 5-time U.S. Open 9-Ball champion, PCA $1 million challenge winner, 9-time Moscone Cup winner, and an inductee into the BCA Hall of Fame.
Earl is mad at me because I did an impression of him. You ever seen my impression of him?
Yeah, that's great.
But I can only do an impression of him because I'm a fan. I want you on, Earl. Come on. Come on, Earl. I'm your fan.
That'd be fun.
I love the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a giant fan of his, and he's absolutely one of the greatest, if not the greatest 9-ball player of all time.
Yeah, and the greatest character in the game.
Oh, my God, for sure.
You can guarantee somewhere tonight, in a pool hall far, far away, he's still running racks just to prove he can.